One of the greatest measure which we have seen in the recent times from a tax reform perspective in India has been the cancellation of retrospective tax amendment. And that's interestingly a very warm point for the investment climate in India, because it would be seen as a great measure which would increase investors' confidence in India. So let's quickly to mention what has happened in the entire context of retrospective tax issue and the debate and the entire fiasco about. Time when the entire issue of retrospective taxation points us back to 2007. That was the year when there was an acquisition by Vodafone of the company Hutchison SR. This was a transaction done in foreign, as in it was more of a foreign transaction from the Indian income tax perspective, because it was a transaction where Vodafone has acquired the shares of Hutchison SR. And the point where Indian tax department got interested was there was an underlying asset of Hutchison SR was there in India, the Hutch telecom business in India. Since this asset was there in India, even though the entire transaction was done by two foreign companies, now tax department says that we want to go ahead and raise a tax claim. That was the starting point of this entire taxation debate, which we now call as the retrospective taxation part. So if you look at the taxation law at that point of time in 2007 in India, there was a gap in the law, or what you could call as a loophole, which didn't allow to tax exactly such kind of a transaction where a foreign company is acquiring another foreign company. And in that particular transaction, there is certain underlying assets. So certain assets are in India. In that context, they couldn't tax was the main issue, which that was a gap in the income tax law. Now, this matter was taken to the court. Bombay High Court first ruled almost in favor of the government. And then the matter went to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court is where the matter was not ruled in the favor of the tax department, and there the matter was ruled in favor of the Vodafone company, and said that this was a legitimate transaction, and there is no issue of what you could call as a tax evasion or tax illegal tax avoidance is not being done in the entire transaction as such. Now, in between, there is one interesting aspect, that is the crucial aspect which government did, was to go and amend the taxation law. So what government did was they went ahead and amended the taxation law, which is amendment which would operate from 1962 onwards, which means they are going to amend the taxation law in a retrospective basis, so that the law would help to bring this entire transaction of Vodafone acquiring Hutchison SR under the Indian tax law. That is a crucial aspect, which is the so-called infamous retrospective tax amendment in India. Now, this was seen as a very negative move from a foreign investment perspective, because from an ease of doing business perspective, it is seen that you are supposed to provide stability, clarity, and transparency in the way in which law operates. So having a particular provision in the tax law, which is almost a loophole, and which was something which Vodafone will, I think, whether knowingly or unknowingly explored. Now, the point which government going and retrospectively amending it and then making a tax claim and showing it as a legitimate tax claim being made, it actually provides a message to international community especially the business community, that we may actually come out with some reforms which may again go back and try to change the laws. And retrospective amendments are not usually being done anywhere in the world. It's usually all amendments, especially in case of business laws and in case of taxation law also, it is prospective amendments. Only the transactions which may happen now henceforth would be actually come under the scanner. But here, this is where government goes back and say that transactions even before 1962 would come under the scanner. Up to 1962, from 1962 onwards will come under the scanner. What is very interesting also is that that brings various other companies under the scanner of income tax law. So even though it started with Vodafone, it actually went into other companies like Kane Energy, and also there was other companies like Vedanta under the scanner.